Picture this. Day 3 of keto. You feel like someone wrapped your brain in cotton wool, your legs feel like concrete, and you're seriously questioning every life decision that led you to this moment. You tell yourself maybe keto just doesn't work for you. Maybe your body is different. Maybe you should just quit. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. That moment right there is exactly where most people make the biggest mistake of their entire keto journey. And today I'm going to show you why almost everyone fails keto in the first 2 weeks, and more importantly, how to make sure you are not one of them. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body when you start keto, because once you understand the science, everything changes. Your entire life, your body has been running on glucose. Carbohydrates come in, they break down into sugar, and your cells burn that sugar for fuel. It's like running a gas-powered engine. The moment you slash your carbohydrates down to that 20 to 50 gram daily range that keto requires, you are essentially pulling the fuel source away from that engine. Your body panics. It scrambles. It throws a full metabolic tantrum, and that tantrum has a name. It's called the keto flu. The keto flu is probably the #1 reason people quit in the first 2 weeks. And the tragic part is that most people quit right before it ends. The symptoms hit hard. We're talking headaches that feel like a vice around your skull, fatigue so intense that climbing a flight of stairs feels like a marathon, irritability that makes you snap at people you actually like, brain fog that makes it impossible to think clearly, and muscle cramps that wake you up at 2 in the morning. People experience this and they assume keto is destroying their body. They assume this is proof it isn't working. The reality is completely the opposite. These symptoms are proof that something significant is shifting in your metabolism. Here's what nobody tells you. The keto flu is almost entirely caused by electrolyte depletion, not by some fundamental incompatibility with the diet itself. When you cut carbs, your insulin levels drop dramatically. And when insulin drops, your kidneys shift into a different mode. They start excreting sodium at a much higher rate. Sodium pulls water with it. And when sodium leaves, it drags other critical electrolytes along for the ride, specifically potassium and magnesium. You are essentially flushing the minerals your nervous system and muscles depend on. The headaches, the cramps, the fatigue, the brain fog, almost all of it comes back to this mineral depletion. The fix is not to quit keto. The fix is to aggressively replenish your electrolytes. Add salt to your food. Drink bone broth. Eat magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens and pumpkin seeds. Get potassium from avocados. This single adjustment eliminates the keto flu for most people within 24 to 48 hours. But electrolyte management is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about mistake number 2, and this one is sneaky. Hidden carbohydrates. Most people think they're doing keto correctly, but they're unknowingly consuming carbs that are quietly kicking them out of ketosis every single day. Condiments are a massive culprit. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, certain salad dressings, they're loaded with sugar. Flavored nuts, protein bars, marketed as low carb, some dairy products, certain vegetables that seem healthy but are surprisingly starchy. All of these add up. You could be someone who is genuinely trying your hardest while consistently going over your carb limit without even realizing it. The solution is to track everything, at least in the beginning. Use an app. Read labels obsessively. Total carbs minus fiber equals net carbs, and that number needs to stay in your target range every single day. Mistake number 3 is not eating enough fat, and I know that sounds counterintuitive. We spent decades being told fat is the enemy. That conditioning runs deep. People start keto, they cut the carbs, but they're still psychologically reluctant to pour olive oil on their food or eat the fatty cut of meat. So they end up in this weird nutritional no man's land where they're not getting enough carbs for energy, but they're also not eating enough fat to properly fuel ketosis. The result is they feel exhausted and depleted, they conclude keto doesn't work, and they quit. Fat is not just allowed on keto. Fat is the entire point. It becomes your primary fuel source. You need to eat it liberally, especially in those first 2 weeks, while your body is still building the metabolic machinery to burn it efficiently. Which brings us to mistake number 4. Impatience with fat adaptation. This is a big one. Full fat adaptation, the point where your body has genuinely optimized its ability to burn fat as fuel, takes time. We're talking weeks to months, not days. But there's a specific window in those first 2 weeks where people feel like they've lost their athletic performance, their mental sharpness, their energy, and they panic. This dip is real. It's temporary, and it's part of the process. Your body is literally rebuilding its cellular machinery to run on a completely different fuel system. Olympic athletes who switch to keto have documented performance dips during this transition. It doesn't mean it isn't working. It means it is working, and your body needs time to complete the adaptation. Mistake number 5 is treating keto like a short-term crash diet instead of a metabolic reset. People go in with a 2-week mindset. They're white-knuckling it, counting down the days, planning their return to pasta the moment they hit their goal. That mindset sabotages consistency in ways that are hard to measure. They're less likely to invest in learning the diet properly, less likely to meal prep, less likely to push through difficult days, because subconsciously, they already have an exit strategy. The people who succeed at keto long-term are the ones who approach it as a genuine lifestyle shift, at least for an extended evaluation period. Commit to 60 days before you make any judgment. Give your body the time it actually needs. Mistake number 6 is social and psychological pressure. This one doesn't get talked about enough. The first 2 weeks of keto almost always coincide with social situations involving food. Someone's birthday, a work lunch, a dinner party. Every single one of those situations becomes a minefield. The social pressure to eat what everyone else is eating is real and powerful. And when people cave once, they often use it as evidence that keto is unsustainable, rather than recognizing it as a normal human moment that can be recovered from at the very next meal. You don't need to start over from day 1 every time you slip. You get back on track immediately, and you keep moving. Now here's the payoff I promised you. The people who make it through those first 2 weeks, the ones who manage their electrolytes, track their carbs honestly, eat enough fat, give themselves grace during adaptation, and treat it as a real commitment, those people almost universally report feeling better than they have in years by week 3 and beyond. The brain fog lifts. The energy stabilizes into something remarkably clean and consistent. The cravings for sugar and processed food diminish in ways that feel almost shocking. Mental clarity that people describe as genuinely life-changing. The first 2 weeks are the valley. On the other side of that valley is everything keto promises. So if you're in the middle of that painful first stretch right now, or if you've failed before and you're trying to understand why, I want you to know this. You weren't weak. You weren't incompatible with keto. You were just underprepared for what that transition actually demands. Armed with what you know now, the outcome can be completely different. The valley is real, but it is absolutely crossable. If you found this valuable, drop a comment below telling me which mistake you think tripped you up. And make sure you subscribe because next week we're going deep on exactly what to eat in those critical first 2 weeks to make the transition as smooth as possible.